YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with yet another training camp recap. I ain't gonna lie, I lost count of days. I want to say 13 or 14. I'll figure it out. But we're here with yet another Washington Commanders training camp recap. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. And don't forget, I will be going live with the Big Cat this Friday to preview Washington versus Panthers. Hope to see you guys over there at that live stream at 8 p.m. with Big Cat from Keep on the TV. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's videos. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Louis. I'm about to fuck this joint up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Damn. When I hop in the booth, they fuck with my sound. Put that shit on the scale, we taxing pound for pound. Nigga keep this and put them in the ground. My shit in your ear and tell me how it sound. A nigga too smart can catch me out of bounds. Let's go. That bitch got cooked like some chicken. And he lying, he not rapping what he living. Yeah, that's my cousin, but this shit a business. Work that bitch out just like we doing fitness.
Warming up, guys. Still warming up. Still warming up. Warming up. Hey, good. Got in the building. Coach called me in and told me that I was taking over, and that was it.
What will be your focus, to get these guys ready for week one?
I mean, nothing's going to change. We're doing the same thing. We're not changing defenses. We're not changing techniques. We're just moving forward. I was brought here to help win a championship, and that's the main goal.
So, another training camp day is in the books for the Washington Commanders. But before we get into that, I want to recap yesterday. So as we know, Sam Mills was fired by Ron Rivera, the defensive line coach, and they promoted Jeff Zignina. I will learn how to say his name eventually, but I just want to say from the first time I heard him talk, he's giving me Dan Campbell vibes. Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell. I get those vibes from Jeff Zignina. 17-year defensive lineman in the NFL. So we actually have a guy that knows what he's talking about, and not no 5'7" kind of guy trying to teach a 6'6" Montez Sweat and/or Chase Young, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. We got a guy that knows what he's doing and knows what he's talking about and actually played in this position. And Jonathan Allen alluded to that. So that's just my little quick spill of Jeff Zignina. I get Dan Campbell vibes, and if you guys haven't heard him talk in his interview, go watch it. It's a good watch. Now, let's get straight into the training camp recap notes from today. Shout out to my man Zach Selsby, always holding it down for us, being the eyes and ears at training camp. So, first note of the day says Dax Milne opened up 11 on 11s with the grab from Heineke, already off to a good start. Again, Dax Milne, you could pretty much lock him up as making this roster, bro. The guy's been having a hell of a camp. I've been on the train before training camp even started. So I'm excited about Dax Milne, and he's been having a really, really, really good camp. So moving on, Wentz just finished up 7 on 7s, went 3 for 6 on his passes. 2 were on the number, but 1 was dropped by Samuel and Gibson. 1 was a really nice PBU from Danny Johnson. So Danny Johnson out there making plays, man. Again, I don't think he's going to get the start at the slot corner, but I would at least like to let them give him a chance to see what he can do. Because again, I allude back to last year, and his minimum snaps that he got to play, he was really, really solid, man. And Curtis Samuel and Gibson, y'all got to catch them passes, man. You know what I'm saying? Carson Wentz put them right in your chest. No excuses to drop them. Wentz unloads a 35-yard throw to McLaurin, who brings it in with Bobby McCain draped all over him. Great pass and catch, man. I hope we see some video of that, man. Carson Wentz and Terry McLaurin continues to build that connection. And going back to Saturday's night at the open practice, man, when Terry caught the touchdown pass from Carson Wentz in the corner of the end zone, first peeped the feet work by Terry to keep his toes, and then second, the crowd just erupted. And it was roughly like, I want to say maybe like 20,000 probably a little bit more, a little bit less. Just imagine a real game full of Washington fans, and if we get to see a Terry touchdown from Carson, the stadium's going to go crazy, man. But moving on to the next note, Wentz with 2 goal line touchdowns, 1 to Terry and 1 to Dayami. Not a bad period for the quarterback. So, again, Carson Wentz is building off another strong day. He's looking like he's had another strong day. And again, that I'm glad he is, because, you know, it's this notion, and the Carson Wentz criticism and hate is crazy. I really hope our quarterback shuts them up this year, man. So moving on, a couple of passes have been nearly picked off today. Bobby McCain had one escape his grasp during a blitz period, and Nathan Gary couldn't hold on to it in the end zone. So that's 2 picks right there that we need, man. I know Chris Harris was all over Bobby McCain, saying, I know you must not like nice things. And Nate Gary, man, you got to catch that, bro. You just got here. You know what I'm saying? What would have been a great, you know, first impression for these coaching staff if you was able to hold down that interception, man. But great play by both those guys, man, but it could have been an even better play if you would have corralled in the interception. Moving on to the next note, we now switched over to Ethan Cadeau, because it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of notes from today's training camp practice. But Ethan Cadeau says McCain makes up for it during the next 11-on-11 session, picks off Wentz on a deep throw intended for McLaurin. So Bobby McCain making up for it. And then it says Bobby McCain just dropped what should have been an INT on Carson Wentz. QB1 has been money today until that throw. So Bobby McCain should have had about 2 interceptions today, man. He's looking really solid, and that's good to hear from a guy that I wasn't that big on coming out of last year's season. Hopefully he is going to transition this good training camp into the regular season. Now moving on over to the next note here, we just found out that the first fight of training camp happened today between tight end Curtis Hodges and DN Shakatoni. On the pass play, Hodges was blocking Tony and did something that Tony didn't like, so Tony smacked him in the helmet. Tight end Samus Reyes and defensive end Montez Sweat were amongst the first to the fight, and it died down quickly. Okay. Now, again, I already know Ron Rivera is going to have some words for those guys and letting them know this is not what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? But again, I understand tempers are flaring. It's high, you know, training camp. You know how training camp goes, man, if you play sports and football specifically. These guys are tired, man. You know, they've been out there every day hot in that Virginia sun. Tempers flaring again. And Shaka Tony wasn't having it. And it happens, you know. But again, I'm glad it was nothing too serious, and we got back to football eventually, because that's the main focus, and we need to get better so we can go out there and compete. You know, first game is Saturday, so we need to get to business. Now, like I said, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of notes from today's practice, but Ron Rivera did say this at the podium today about guard Trey Turner. He says Rivera at the podium said Trey Turner is dealing with a quad injury. He's already knows a lot of the techniques that they are teaching, so they don't need to rush him back. And that's something that we are not surprised about hearing. We've been knew he was dealing with a quad injury. And again, it's no need to rush him back. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him all preseason, just because they want to be precautious with how they're moving with Trey Turner. Rivera said this on Chase Roulier, has progressed very well, still working on easing him back, but they like where he's at and like where they're headed. Again, another guy that they don't need to rush back because he's a vocal part of this offensive line, man. He is a big piece. We do not need to rush Chase Roulier back at all. Now, before we get out of here, let's see if there's some more notes that we could talk about here. If not, we will call it a day. And Washington had their first training camp practice, but again, it happens, man. Warren Sapp, John Allen, and Deron Payne are together today, so Warren Sapp is back out there at practice again, man. I love it. I love to see it, man. Maybe he'll be the assistant defensive line coach, man. Maybe. But yeah, man, there you have it. As always, me and Boy Wangati. Not too much news today, but there was a fight today. It just seems like the team is more locked in, less tweeting about it, because it's game week, man, for the preseason. And a lot of these guys have to make a mark for themselves, make a name for themselves, because they're trying to fight for a roster spot. So now, what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, me and Boy Wangati. Like, comment, subscribe. Helps for Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So that subscribe button again if you haven't already. And don't forget to cop some Wangati Talking Sports merch and follow me on my social media links down below in the description. And don't forget, I will be going live with the Big Cat this Friday at 8 p.m. from Keep Hunter TV. See you guys over there. As always, me, Boy Wangati. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped.